Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal back with a new podcast, the latest and greatest podcast, Mr. Informal Podcast. So, we are on the podcast 119. Yes, podcast, Mr. Informal Podcast Edition 119. So, we got 4 topics for today. But first, do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTER INFORMAL. And then check out my website, mrinformal.com. MRINFORMAL. So that is my website, and I have and check out my store. Got some good stuff in there that you can purchase. So these are the 4 topics for the podcast. Number 1, USPS. Yes, the Postal Service is raising the price on high traffic season. Number 2, clean cars during this pandemic. Number 3, clean fashion. Yes, clean fashion during this pandemic. Number 4, last but not least, since a lot of people are working from home, there's going to be a decrease in suit wearing. Yes, you heard me right. Decrease in suit wearing. So those are the 4 topics for this Mr. Informal Podcast 1119. I hope you are doing well, feeling well, being safe. You are actually safe at home. And certainly, if you are going crazy, trust me, you are not the only one, because I too am also going crazy staying at home. I guess the only thing that we are doing is buying food. And so, let's go ahead and start the podcast. From an article from Supply Chain Drive. So USPS, the United States Postal Service, is going to raise commercial parcel rates for peak season. The U.S. Postal Service will temporarily raise prices on commercial parcels from October 18 to December 27. The increases are pending approval by Postal Regulatory Commission. The price hikes comes in response to increased expenses and heightened demand for e-commerce parcel delivery due to the pandemic. Understandable. Parcels rates will increase by 24 cents as outlined. So, most of the prices are ranging from 24 cents, the high 40 cents, to the most is $1.50. Priority Mail Express was raised for $1.50. Basic current price right now is $22.75, so it's gonna be around $23 to $24. So that's basically it, that is absolutely understandable. So, as you know, the pandemic's not over, so the USPS is going way too slow. Apparently, the Postal Service is certainly being affected by a lot of packages, whether it be SurePost, SmartPost, everything's going through. And my packages are actually late. Yes, I do have packages, and there's a lot of them with post office that needs to be delivered. But I'm sure I'm not the only one. And to me, USPS is a hit or miss. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But when it's bad, it's really that bad. Waiting in line is so slow. They don't even have enough. I'm not even sure if they have enough staff. But see, my problem on this is that the Postal Service already knew that e-commerce was going up. It was going up even prior to this pandemic, even prior to people ordering more, staying at home. So, did they actually answer it correctly? No, because if they're having to go through this much, it's pretty obvious that they did not prepare. I guess they were expecting the UPS, FedEx, DHL to do the same. Yeah, well, those people actually did better than the Postal Service. But don't get me wrong, they have their own problems. But as of right now, I don't have a problem with this because it's just 24 cents and that's understandable. And hopefully these people at the postal service are getting hazard pay. I'm not sure if they are, but I'm just hoping they do get hazard pay. But look, in the last few paragraphs, it says the rate increases to come as USPS endures months-long financial struggles, warning Congress it could run out of cash by the end of September. The governors believe these temporary rates will keep Postal Service competitive while providing the agency much-needed revenue. USPS in statement. Look, if you gotta raise your price, you gotta raise your price, okay? I mean, there are people working in the Postal Service. I mean, not only that, I don't. Here's the thing that I never understood. Why is it that when it comes to bigger packages, it's cheaper to buy in FedEx and UPS than the Postal Service? Why? I never understood that. But look, if it needs this increase to stay afloat, fine. I'm okay with this. But I truly hope that its effectiveness is what matters, meaning getting the packages on time. On to topic number 2, clean cars. I'm not talking about hydrogen fuel cars. I'm not talking about battery fuel cars. I'm strictly talking about clean cars, which means that due to this pandemic, cars have disinfectant type of materials that they will use, such as brass. As brass does not leave much germs, so. As you know, we have mostly fabrics and leather. And we got plastic, we got metal, all kinds of materials in cars. Our exterior part of the car, are they going to have hydrophobic materials? Meaning, are they going to have the same type of features, such as cell phones, where doesn't leave fingerprints, doesn't leave much stuff on it? So are they gonna have that? Will the cars of the future will have these features, meaning the car clean itself? Will it have air filter? Actually, it does have air filter. Will it have ozone type features? Will it have some parts of the steering wheel going to have made of brass? I mean, are they going to be made of materials that could kill viruses? Is that what we're going to have? It's going to be interesting as to what kind of clean cars we're going to have in the future. Certainly, when you go to Enterprise, Hertz, or all these kind of rental places, certainly you see these cars being dirty and they barely clean that stuff up. It's pretty obvious. I mean, look, I've been there. I never driven one, but I have seen others. When they rent cars, it wasn't as clean as they think Hertz or Enterprise would clean it. But in any case, it's going to be interesting as to what kind of research these car brands are going to go through. You know, what about seats? Are they going to have some type of material that could disinfect or clean itself or not sustain a virus? So, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, people sweat. I mean, people spill coffee. People spill all kind of stuff under car seats. So, I'm interested as to what kind of clean cars that we will have in the future. And here's another thing. I mean, what are we gonna do with the kids? Obviously, baby seats too. So baby seats, they need to obviously be sanitized and be clean. I mean, I'm hoping that we could have a lot more cars nowadays, just like many Jeep Wranglers. Also, Honda had it where you could just wash away the seats, since the seat was water resistant. You can easily clean the seats, so that would be pretty cool. I wish we could have more of that, but it's gonna be a uphill battle because many think that they need to have leather seats because they think that's premium. They think they need to have Alcantara seats because again they think that's premium. They think it's high end. But now people are realizing, hey, I'm not gonna have a clean car if I keep having those type of seats. So now people are realizing what kind of cars they might have to get in the future. On to topic number 3. Now, just like clean cars, clean fashion. I'm not talking about sustainability. I'm not talking about recycling. Just like the topic I talked about from the last few podcasts about Levi's collaborating with a fabric company about a fabric that can kill a virus. Well, what about fabrics that are sanitized already, meaning they can't sustain a virus? The virus cannot live onto the fabrics. That's what I'm talking about. Fashion. Are we gonna have coatings where fashion, certain virus can't live to it? They can't sustain a virus. Are we gonna have fabrics or even yarns or even threads going to easily be water resistant, virus resistant? I mean, I can go on and on about the possibility, but certainly it's going to be a feature in the future. Now, I think this is gonna happen. This is certainly going to happen in the future, where if you spill coffee or certain type of food, jelly, honey, whatever, it won't stick. It's gonna be resistant to it. You can easily wash it, so you can actually finally take off that ketchup on that white shirt finally. And I'm truly hoping that this is going to come sooner than later because of what the pandemic is doing to people. People are realizing, hey, I need cleaner clothes. I want clothes that could be odorless. I want clothes that cannot keep a virus, cannot sustain a virus. I need clothes that is spot resistant, that is certainly hard to find. I need clothes that are sweat resistant. I need clothes that are also comfortable. So again, this will happen in the future because this is being already researched. Certainly, I think this could also be applied to cars, but I think cars are just much more harder to deal with. But when it comes to clothes and fashion or whatever type of apparel that you could be wearing, it's going to be much more easier. Now, they already have coatings that can kill a virus. They already have coating for water resistant, wrinkle resistance. They already have coating for where if you spill something or any type of liquid, it will just bead off. You can easily wipe it off. They already have clothes that are odor resistant. I mean, they already have clothes that you don't need to wash as much, just like wool. But again, wool is natural. I think wool can be dirty, but what I'm saying is, can a certain fiber or a certain yarn can clean it off easily, or you can easily wipe it off or wash it, and then once it's washed, it's gone. So that will be interesting to see in the future. But I'm hoping that a lot more research and development are going to go through that. And again, I think during this pandemic, more and more type of companies are probably doing it behind the scenes and they're not ready to announce it. And people, when that is announced, people are going to pay attention to it because they realize that you gotta have a clean hygiene nowadays. That's what it's all about. Clean hygiene. So the last topic for today is loose suits. This basically means that people are not wearing suits nowadays because of the pandemic. Most people are staying at home, wearing casuals. I mean, even if you say that go to bankers, any financial institutions, again, most of them are probably working at home or probably working 3 days or 2 days a week, so it is interesting. Not only that, the sales in apparel, it went down, and so now a lot of people are basically wearing suits nowadays. And look, let's get things straight, okay? Women also wear suits. Let's not forget, okay? Women also do wear suits. So I'm not particularly talking about men. I'm talking about male and female. So, I mean, as you can tell, Brook Brothers is filed Chapter 11. I mean, American Men's Warehouse, I wouldn't be surprised if they went bankrupt too. So, Bonobos, it's pretty obvious what's happening over there. And so, the suit wearing person is not wearing suits anymore. They're basically wearing lounge wears. And because they're working from home, or they're not working as much as they used to due to the pandemic. Not only that, it's summertime. So, hey, I mean, you can't. You only wear suits when you go to work, but after that, you don't wear it anymore. Not like in winter or fall, or even spring, depending on where you are in the country. And so, I guess the formal attire for business is not being worn anymore because of people working from home. Not only that, you may not even work from home. You may even be at a coffee shop. So even Facebook said that we're not gonna bring back we're not gonna bring people back to work until 2021, and that is absolutely interesting. So as you can tell, since they're not gonna go back to work that day, it's gonna even take a longer time to where people to go back to work, to go back to the way they used to be, to go back to actually wearing suits again, kinda. And look, I think there will be a resurgence again for people wearing suits when this is all over, because I think people will realize, you know what, I gotta wear something nice. I'm tired of wearing this same old clothes at home, but you know what, I gotta wear this again. So it's going to be interesting. But for now, certainly suits are not being worn lately. I mean, if they are, not a lot. And even sales are not going down. I feel bad for the tailors because, as you know, they're probably closed, or they're probably only taking few appointments here and there. And it's too bad because, again, most of the people are wearing at home. They're not even going out, not even going on a dinner date to wear suits. And that is absolutely terrible. But loose suits is the name of the game. And so that basically concludes this Mr. Informal Podcast 119. I hope you listen to me till the very end, and I hope I gave you some insights. I hope I give you something new, and hopefully again you are being safe and you are well. Again, do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website and check out the items that I have in stores and on sale. MrInformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. And so I will see you in the next podcast. Bye bye.